Hi, it's Pam from Hope 24/7. Today I'm writing about, did you say you wouldn't pray for me? And it comes from an experience I had this week that reminded me about a promise I made years ago that I wouldn't just merely be going around saying, I'll pray for you, I'll pray for you, I'll pray for you, and not thinking about really what someone needed done for them. This week, someone I've been helping, or just getting to know really, who's been on the streets, got a job. And we got a job with the Veterans Administration. And a part of it was they started raising funds for the Veterans Administration. So when they got a job, what we'd all been praying for, right? They called and said, hey, I got a job, and by the way, would you make a donation? Because I make X% of what the veterans, this donation call center makes, and that's how they pay me. And immediately I was like, I said I'd pray for you. I didn't say I'd write a check. And then it just hit me, like, when you really have to sacrifice, when you have to step up and write the check or do something, it's a lot different than just praying for someone. So, of course, I wrote that check, but at the same time, it reminded me of a promise I'd made to myself that I wouldn't take it lightly and say things like, oh, I'll pray for you, and not really think about what a person really needed and to be the hands and feet of the answer, right? A couple years ago, my son got into trouble, and about a week after the first altercation and the write-up, I was called into the principal's office in the middle of the workday and thought, okay, they're going to talk to me about this. Come to find out there was a second incident, and two students, my son being one of them, had had inappropriate emails back and forth with discussions about things that were inappropriate for school. So they were both being expelled. One was, and so I assumed, absolutely, okay, this was inappropriate, they should be expelled, they should have consequences. So I asked the superintendent, so when does he come back, and what's the remediation? How does he work his way back into community here? This was a private school that my kids had been going to for 10 years, and it was a Christian school at that. The superintendent said, oh, he's expelled for good. He's not coming back. And immediately, everything within me felt sick. This had been our community. This had been our home. We'd gone through a lot of things. All the people around us, the teachers, the family. What, he was out for good? No grace? No way back into community? I was reeling. I didn't know if I'd throw up or wanted to scream sitting there in that meeting, so I just stood up because I needed to get outside because I felt like I was going to pass out. And the superintendent looks at me and goes, can we pray for you? And everything inside of me, guys, was like, no, you can't pray for me. You can give me some evidence that Christianity is real. You can give me evidence that I haven't been paying for my kids to hear about grace and community and it's been a sham. You can show this kid grace and remediation and figure out how to help. You could do a lot of things, but pray for me right now? Pray and kick us to the curb? No, I really don't want that. Well, I bowed my head and they prayed. And it was that moment I told myself that I would never pray for someone when they needed something that I could do for them. And prayer was just a way out to make me feel better about myself. And so this week I actually wrote the check. But all I'd been saying was I would pray for him and I was being nice. But there was things I could do. And so I want to be that person. I don't want to say things like, I'll pray for you, as a way of getting out, living a life of grace and abundance and stewardship and love. So, no, I won't merely pray for you. Hopefully I'll show up and do for you. This is Pam from Hope 24/7. Have a great day.